guys, or afternoon, I guess, because it's actually 12:15 already. How is this time going by so fast today? So it is Meg Rogers here coming at you live, and I just want to talk about something that I am hearing from many, those that I am working with who are struggling, those that I am talking to who want to get started, but as soon as they go to get started, it's like, boom, crickets, they like ghost and they fall off the planet of the earth, because they're just like, life is happening and they don't know how to juggle it. And what is happening is they're getting stuck in their head, and it's derailing them from not only the goals that they have, but living the life that they truly want. So what happens is they get stuck. So if you're catching the replay, drop hashtag replay below, because this is just such an important message, or at least I feel like it is. So, do you ever feel like you were just all alone? Like you're surrounded by your family, your friends, part of a church or a local community, but you just feel really alone, and somebody, will simply ask you like, hey, if you're okay, and you just say, well, I'm good, but it's a lie, and you're comforting yourself with the lie of, what good is this going to accomplish if I even go there and actually talk about it? Do I really want to feel this? Do I really want to feel those feelings if I do go there? So if you're on, drop an emoji or say hi, let me know that you're here. So when you are feeling that weight on your chest, when you are feeling like you are just going through the motions of life, this is when we have a choice to make. We have that choice of, are we going to continue to suffer this experience, or are we going to give it to Jesus and actually experience his grace? Like, sister, there is a full-on war keeping you from finding it, from finding his grace, from finding his peace. So where do we start? We start by opening up, by realizing that we are not alone. And I recently heard somebody say that sometimes the devil sounds a lot like Jesus. We're so deceived by the lies of the enemy, who knows how to twist our cravings and our desires for his purpose. And this is why we need to have open eyes to his tactics. And sometimes we're blind to his tactics. I'm blind to his tactics many times. Even just a few days ago, one of my girlfriends had to point it out, what he was doing and what path I was heading on, because it could have easily gone the other way and gotten off track again. But the enemy has worked really, really hard on me these past few months, making me doubt God's calling. He's leading me on this path, and I'm just like, but who am I? And I started to feel like I was helpless, and I started to feel insignificant. And many times I witnessed this from others, and I know it because I did the same thing. So women being distracted using social media, Netflix, food, Pinterest, feeding our emotions to distract us. Sorry, the baby's sleeping, to distract us from God. We're not tempted with the obvious bad things, because if we were, we would be suspicious. We would realize what was happening and we would revolt. Instead, he distracts us with everyday comforts that slowly start to feed us a different story and make us forget God, and before we know it, we've ended the day. We didn't have time for prayer, devotions, God, or any real priority. Hey, Andrea. So we missed his spirit leading us because we were too full of doubt to have faith in him, busy with things that don't even matter, or like I said, comforting ourselves with binge eating while we're Netflixing and stuff because we just want to drown out the day. So if he can't distract us with busyness, well, what's he going to do? He's going to attack our identity. Hey, Rachel. So he's going to make us believe that we have to prove ourselves, which shifts from God now onto us. So we start isolating ourselves because we think we're not good enough, and then we start getting depressed and being ungrateful about the story that God is weaving in our life right now. Or maybe we compare, believing that we're better than others, judging, gossiping, tearing down others versus loving them. But no matter what, we lose our joy because our eyes are fixed on us instead of on him. So, and if that doesn't work, he's tried all these tactics and you're still going strong, well, guess what? He's just going to find a new tactic, and he's going to start keeping you busy. He's going to start intoxicating us with the mission of God instead of God himself. And if that still doesn't work, he'll make us suffer. So our faith shrinks. So we begin to doubt God. So we become bitter, weary, tired, rather than flourishing and growing and becoming more like Christ. Because then we would stop and we will try to control our life rather than face it and step into the plans that God has for us and move forward on faith, rather than moving forward on faith, versus I lost my train of thought there. But you really have to think about these things. So why do you feel so stuck? Why do you feel so alone? Who are you surrounding yourself with? That's always the first question to ask. Who are you surrounding yourself with if you're feeling this way? Are you surrounding yourself with those who let you pretend? Are you surrounding yourself with those who allow you to numb your feelings, letting days turn into weeks, months, and years? Or are you surrounding yourself who are going to lead you back to Jesus, who are going to actually call you out when you begin to wander away from that flock, away from your God-given potential. If you're trying to do this alone, good luck. What I do, how I coach, it's not for everybody, especially those who choose to bury their head in the sand, because I'm going to say it like it is. I was recently talking to somebody and she was like, I'm going to be speaking to a lot of people and I'm fearful. I don't know what to do. And she's like, but I know this could be the really big step. And she was just, what ifs? And I was like, no, the problem is not what ifs. The problem is you're stuck up here and you're not focused on him. You can't do things on your strength. You can only do things on his strength. So, a lot of times, a lot of people that I talk to, they're like, oh, I can't afford it. Oh, I can't do this. I'm too busy with little kids, or I'm just too busy with kids. I'm too busy homeschooling. I'm too busy, blah, 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 blah. Those are excuses. Those are fear. Those are, excuses. Those are just things that you're using to try to comfort yourself, when in reality, those are not the things that are holding you back. The only thing that is holding you back is you're not connected to Jesus, because you're so focused on yourself. You're not having faith. When God was leading a woman into my life to help me with my health and getting it fixed and stuff, and stop trying to drug myself up, because obviously that was not helping, but I kept doing it. I was like, oh, I can't afford that, because I was spending so much on medical, and our budget was really tight. And you know what the funny thing was? Once I went forward in faith, 3 weeks later, God took care of everything, and I never paid a dime ever since then. And it was just incredible how I just had to take that step and move forward. I had to stop doing things on my way. I had to stop, moving forward with my plans, and instead step into the plans that God had for me. Scary as all get out. Because if I'm going to spend money, the last thing I want to spend it on is my health, man. I want to go shopping. I want to have fun. I don't want to spend it on that. So, those in my fit family, they're showing up for themselves. They are learning that vulnerability is their strength. They are building their community, and they have success in all areas of life. They are connecting to Jesus on a level that many of them have never been before. Why? Because they are surrounded by those who love them so much that they won't let them coast and numb themselves. They will not let them coast and numb themselves towards Jesus. Is it easy? Hell no. It is the hardest thing myself and every single one of my ladies have ever done, but the reward, worth it all. So if you've been struggling, you're on the fence, waiting for that perfect time, get honest. Are you just been recycling your experiences, feeling the same feelings over and over? Because guess what? When you decide you're going to make a change, the enemy is like, oh, you want to make a change? Well, let's see how committed you are. And if you are not surrounded by community, he is going to hit you by every single angle that I just talked about in this video. And if you're just catching on, I would catch the replay of this when I am done, because there are so many angles the enemy is going to come at you, and you probably don't even realize it. Because guess what? Even I am blind to it. I was blind to it a few days ago when my girlfriend had to call me out. I was blind to some of the ways last week. Even I get blind to this. The reason why I'm a success? I'm surrounded. I am surrounded by those who care about my relationship with Jesus and where I am at. So if you're done recycling your experiences, you're ready to move forward once and for all, message me. New group starts next week. But all right, guys, I really hope that this helps you. Just take an honest look of your life. Like I've always said, you can lie to me. I don't care. Doesn't hurt me. It's not going to affect my goals. It's not going to affect my mission in life. I'm going to keep going. The only person you're going to hurt is you and your family. Get honest with yourself. Are you recycling your experiences, or are you going and you're pushing through all of that stuff? But all right, guys, get out there, make it an awesome day.